This is WVUA 23 News at 5.
We're continuing to learn more about a tragedy at a Nashville school today. At least 7 people died in a shooting at a private Christian school. Police say the victims are 3 adults and 3 students at the Covenant School. The 28-year-old female suspect was killed by police. Police say she was armed with 2 assault rifles and a handgun. The Covenant School had an enrollment of about 200 students from preschool to 6th grade in recent years. Police received the call at 10:13. The shooter was killed at 10:27.
The police department response was swift. Officers entered the first story of the school, began clearing it. They heard shots coming from the second level. They immediately went to the gunfire. When the officers got to the second level, they saw a shooter, a female, who was firing. The officers engaged her.
This is the 19th shooting at a school or university so far this year, in which at least 1 person was wounded. Live in studio, I'm Noah Shelton reporting for JCM 326. We'll be right back. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Noah Shelton. Yet another mass shooting sending a community reeling with grief. 4 people are dead after a gunman opened fire inside a Louisville bank this morning. Police identified 4 victims found dead inside the bank. 9 others were injured and 3 are in critical condition, including a 26-year-old officer who graduated from the police academy just 10 days ago. Police have identified the gunman as 23-year-old Connor Sturgeon and say he was live streaming the shooting. Sturgeon was a graduate at the University of Alabama who attended from fall 2016 to December 2020.
This is awful. I have a very close friend that didn't make it today. And I have another close friend who didn't either, and one who's at the hospital that I hope is going to make it through. So when we talk about praying, I hope people will.
The shooting is the 15th mass killing in the country this year. A Northport woman found herself behind bars Easter weekend after investigators say she shot her ex-husband. 61-year-old Jerry Denise Pate is charged with attempted murder. Investigators say before the shooting, Pate and her ex-husband spent the evening together at a local bar. When they returned to their home on Meadowlark Lane, an argument broke out and investigators say Pate shot the victim in the back. Tuscaloosa Violent Crimes Unit Commander Captain Jack Kennedy says domestic disputes like this are some of the most dangerous situations they respond to.
Anytime that you feel like you're involved in something where it's getting to the point of violence or danger, then you need to remove yourself from the situation and just contact the police. That's what we're there for. We can come out, take reports, make arrests if we have to. But like I said, if everybody removes themselves from the situation, hopefully that won't even be necessary. But we can calm the situation down and assist with victims or parties being separated. And of course, we can report it for future incidences as well, which can come important if violence happens at a later date.
Pate was booked into the Tuscaloosa County Jail and has since been released on bond. The mother of the 6-year-old boy who shot his teacher in Virginia in January now faces a felony child neglect charge. A grand jury indicted the 25-year-old today. She's also charged with the misdemeanor charge of endangering a child. Her name is being withheld to protect the son's identity. Police say the boy shot his first-grade teacher, Abby Zwerner, inside her Newport News classroom. Coming up, plastic food storage containers are something that we all have in our home, but Tupperware could soon be a thing of the past. And a new study finds that some foods can help cancer patients keep their energy up. How they fight chronic fatigue when we come back. Good evening. I'm Noah Shelton. Alabama men's basketball hosted Auburn on Wednesday evening in what turned out to be an instant classic. Alabama, after being down 40-33 at the half, sent the game to overtime with a blistering 28-11 run in the final 10 minutes to tie the game at 75. First possession of overtime, Jaden Bradley would drive the ball to the rim and find Noah Clowney for the easy 2 to take the lead. Next possession, Brandon Miller decided he would do it himself as he misses the layup, but he would grab his own rebound and put it back through contact for the bucket. Very next possession, Auburn down 5, when Alan Flanagan hits a huge 3 for the Tigers to cut it back to a 1-score game. Alabama now up 3 late. K.D. Johnson for Auburn tries to take it to the rim, but he will be denied by Noah Clowney, and the Crimson Tide would get the rebound, and Auburn would then have to foul Brendan Miller to send him to the line. Javon Quinley gestures to the crowd after Miller's free throws to give him his ring. The Crimson Tide defeat Auburn 90-85, and point guard Javon Quinley led the team with 24 points and 6 assists. Alabama coach Nate Oates brings home his second SEC championship in 3 years. The Tide will be in search of a second conference tournament title in Nashville next weekend. Alabama softball had a rematch with Longwood on Sunday after defeating them on Saturday 5-0. Bomb of the fifth, Bailey Doling up here. She's going to line this out the left to bring in Ashley Prangy, making the score 4-0 for the Tide. Montana Fouts making the strikeout look easy here, and honestly, this is easy for her. This is the third perfect game of Fouts' career. Prangy up the bat in the bottom of the sixth. She gets a hold of this one over the center field fence for a 3-run home run. Jordan Stevens showing bunt, but it's a slap that gets right by the third baseman to bring in Allie Shipman, making the game 8-0 for the Tide, a second run rule victory of the weekend. After Longwood, Alabama faced Mercer and won 8-0 to complete the Crimson Classic. The story of the weekend was pitching for the Crimson Tide softball team. Here's Fouts and Coach Bohannon on how the staff did it.
I feel like we had a really good mentality going into this week, and especially as a pitching staff, and we're excited to take it into next weekend, next week because we play 2 midweeks, so we're going to attack everybody, and that's the same mentality that we're going to have.
Kudos to all the pitchers. Obviously, Montana's perfect game. She just keeps doing it. I mean, she's amazing to watch, and it's called fast pitch for a reason. And when you have a circle drawn around your position, you're pretty darn important, and it starts in the circle.
Former Alabama quarterback A.J. McCarron was in action once again on Sunday afternoon for the St. Louis Battlehawks. St. Louis fell behind early, but the two-time national champ got them on the board with this pass to Brian Hill. All in all, McCarron went on to throw for 4 touchdowns and 262 yards on the day, but unfortunately it wasn't enough as A.J. and the Battlehawks suffered their first loss of the young XFL season, 34-28. That's a look at sports. The news will continue when we come back.